How do the New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills? That's a great question, but it is not impossible. First, let's just see what's happening with the odds, right? So when the week opened, Buffalo, they were 12 and a half points favorite. Now they're only 11 points favorite. That means money is coming in on the Jets, at least to cover. But then if you look at the straight win, the Jets were paying like 6-1 when the week started, and now it's down to about 4.5-1. And the Bills, you were getting 9-1 on your money in the beginning of the week, and now you're down to 6-1. And what that means is people are betting on the Jets. Now, of course, more people are betting on the Bills, as they should. I mean, come on. The Bills look like the premier team in the NFL right now. I mean, they look fantastic. I think they look better than the Eagles, but okay. So you got Philadelphia, you got the Bills, maybe you got some Kansas City action going. I don't know. But the Bills are certainly one of the top teams in the NFL. The Jets just had a horrendous week against New England. I know they did a lot better than last year, but let's face it, 3 interceptions by Zach does not instill confidence. But it's not impossible for the Jets to win. They could win. And if they win, here is how the Jets beat the Bills. Number one, Zach Wilson has to show that he has learned from last week. Granted, last week was kind of a fluke. I mean, he hasn't had a week that looked like that ever, I think, but he's got to show that he has learned. And so one thing that I do expect to see is for Zach not to throw any bonehead interceptions. That doesn't mean he's not going to throw a pass where he tries to zip it in. The defense makes a good play. They come up with the ball. That might happen. It is Buffalo we're talking about. But it means that he's not going to throw one out of bounds. That's not quite out of bounds. Or just out of frustration, toss one up, 3rd and long, and land, be nowhere near a Jet really compared to the defense. He's not going to do that this week, okay? That's number one. Number two is he is not going to take huge sacks. Hopefully he won't run backwards as often to elude the sack. But if he does, he's going to throw it away. He's going to throw it away hard. So we're not going to see the big loss on the big sack. At least I don't believe we will. I do expect him actually to run forward, to be coached the whole week, to run forward, not just backward. So I think that's going to improve. I think we're going to see definite improvement at the quarterback position. So how the Jets beat the Bills? Zach Wilson plays non-bonehead conservative football. And I think he'll do that. So I think that one we have, okay? But that alone isn't going to bring the Jets to compete with the Bills here. The next thing is we're playing against an incredible quarterback that's going to tear us apart, probably. But here's the thing, and I don't think it's 100% guaranteed he's going to, because I think the Jets defense has been playing great. And I think they're only getting better every week. And I think they're being coached incredibly well. They're watching the tapes. They're learning about each team. They really seem to get it. How they've been playing is they've been getting better. Okay, they've been getting better. They've been getting tighter. They communicate better. This is a defense that is on the rise. And so the Jets beat the Bills by the defense continuing to rise. I mean, they're playing against a great quarterback in Josh Allen. Obviously, this guy has the stuff, but the Jets defense is going to bring it. I feel very confident about that. We're not going to stop the pass. Josh Allen isn't going to be stopped, but we are going to slow it down. As long as we keep him from getting the big plays, because he loves the big plays, we can contain the pass. On the ground, our rushing defense has looked very, very good. I'm very excited by it, and I think we can not stop them completely, but we can put a dent in it. And then third, the other thing you have to watch out for on their offense is Josh Allen scrambling and running, and that's where I think he's going to hurt us. I think we're going to get hit there, and we're going to take some lumps, but again, it's going to be bend, not break. But if we're going to beat the Bills, if the Jets are going to beat the Bills, how they're going to do it, the defense is going to have a big play. They are going to have that pick six that was taken away from us last week. They're going to get that pick six, or they're going to recover a fumble. They're going to strip the ball. They're going to get the fumble. They've got to make that big play. If the Jets are going to win, and I'm talking about 5, 6, 7 to 1 underdogs, they have got to make the big turnover, the big play that turns the game around and brings the momentum to the Jets. But that alone is still not going to have us win the game. We also need to not make the big penalty. We just can't have the personal fouls. We can't have the late hits. We can't have the big passing interference plays. If the Jets beat the Bills, how we did it is we didn't have any of those dumb, stupid, idiotic penalties. And then the last piece that has to click. If the Jets are going to beat the Bills, which is a big ask, and this is probably the least likely of them all. Look, I know a lot of you hate Zach Wilson. A lot of you love Zach Wilson. But for me, Zach Wilson is a young quarterback that's still learning. He's been pretty good this season in not doing stupid things. Last week was Bonehead Day for Zach. I don't think he's going to have that again, so I'm not worried about it. But what we need out of Zach is more than don't be a bonehead, than be conservative, just don't turn the ball over. What we need out of Zach this week, if we're going to win, how the New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills is Zach Wilson shows up and is able to look off his number 1 receiver to his number 2, to his number 3 if he has to, and hit him. And most of those are going to be short passes. He's going to look medium, maybe even look long, but he's going to hit the short pass consistently. One more thing. He's got to hit a long one. I mean, he's got to hit a long one to open up the defense of the Bills. And he has amazing potential receivers out there. First of all, he has Garrett Wilson. Second of all, Mims. He has Mims for the big, big play. I can see it happening this week. And he's got Moore back, and he's got to use him at least a little bit, if nothing else, just to show the Buffalo defense that he's willing to go in that direction to keep them guessing. All right, how did the New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills? Number 1, no bonehead play by the quarterback. Come on. Number 2, the defense continues to rise. Number 3, the defense makes a monster play for us, which can happen. Number 4, Zach Wilson hits his darn receivers. That's it. That's how the New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills. Look, I know you don't agree with everything I said. You may not agree with anything I said. So let's hear it in the comments. And the way that you could really help the channel, whether you agree or not, is by hitting my little brother's little bald head over here and subscribing. And if you want to see my thoughts on Mimsy and how he's going to score a touchdown this week, you could look over here. You'll also hear about Moore, mostly about Moore and his mouth. So that's it. Go Jets.